I posted the other day about being naked. Now, hear me out. Anytime you start something new, you share whatever you've been working on, you admit that you have an interest or maybe even a hidden talent in some area, it feels like you are standing in front of every single person that you know completely but naked. Folks try to be sweet and cute and politically correct by saying, oh, it's so vulnerable, but between me and you, we know the real deal. It's not just vulnerable. You're literally showing your naked ass in front of everyone. And people, it feels like, are staring at you. So, of course, that is completely terrifying. That's why most people stay in hiding with their gift, their art, their craft. There are a couple of mindset tricks that can help you move past that stage where you can show those pretty cheeks with pride instead of constantly wanting to make yourself small, cover yourself, and honestly remain in hiding. I love this clip from Jim Carrey because he highlights that doing so comes with a cost.
You're going to have to either let that creation go and take a chance on being loved or hated for who you really are, or you're going to have to kill who you really are.
It sucks being out there completely naked, but are we okay going our entire lives without fully being seen, without fully being known? I don't believe it is ever too late for anyone, but I do believe that ideas, opportunities come and go. And even though it doesn't seem like it, being overly self-conscious is a form of ego. Previous guest, entrepreneur, and speaker Garrain talked about a season in his life when he was given a lot of opportunities, but he let his ego.
My ego had got in the way, and ego is heavy. So when my ego got bigger, when I allowed my ego to get bigger than the gift, it was almost like it's like God took away the gift. He was like, I didn't give you this so that you can think about yourself. I gave you this so you can give the gift away. But I was using it. I was like trying to get girls and all this other stuff. So I lost integrity with the gift, not knowing that I was doing that. So just as fast as it rose was just as fast as it went away.
So if you don't live in integrity with our gift, it can be taken away. There is a analogy in this book by Darren Hardy called The Compound Effect, where he's talking about getting really clear on our why and how raising the stakes can actually give us a form of bravery that we didn't have before. He uses this analogy of standing on top of a tall building and there's a building next to it that is on fire. And he said, would you ever jump from the safety of one building to another building that is caught on fire? Probably not. Now, if you imagine your child or someone you deeply love standing on that other building while it's on fire, you better freaking believe we'd turn into Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? We would be jumping across, not worrying about the risk of our lives because we love someone so much more deeply than we do our own insecurities and our own fears. I love this analogy because it reminds us that the gifts that we have, the things that we want to bring to the world is not just about us and our ego and our own kingdoms that we're trying to build. We're actually trying to make the world a better place and pour into other folks. And even if you are just, quote, just an entertainer and wanting to make someone laugh, there's a reason you want to do that. I'm guarantee you there's a story behind that. And so we can attach into service for other people. It helps us get over our own self-consciousness. Now, I also wanted to play this clip from previous guest, teacher and author Reward Sibanda, when he talked about even through this process, we have to become really, really clear who we're for and who we're not for.
But the true artist, the true artisan, the person who has embraced their call is the one that says, I don't create for the masses, right? I create for my tribe because my divine purpose from God was to emit a specific drumbeat and a specific frequency. And the people that resonate to that and they come and they gather around that, it's going to be more meaningful for them and more fulfilling for me if I know that, gosh, the 1,000 people that roll with me, I've changed their lives, I've changed their families, they go deep with me, they understand with me.
Our mission, our gift is not for everyone. Our ego wants it to be loved by all, accepted by all. But like he said, the true artist doesn't create for the masses, it creates for its tribe. 2 more things for you before we get out of here. First of all, give yourself a lot of freaking grace. If it's terrifying, if you know there's another level to your work and you're nervous to get your naked butt out there in front of everybody, of course it's terrifying. I hope these tips helped you to strip it off and just jump out there anyway. I've got to stop with this. But the last thing I wanted to share with you is this idea of intentional inspiration. If you are someone who is constantly creating and putting your work out there and constantly having to check your ego and insecurity and yada, 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 for me, it is so important to find intentional spaces in my life to be inspired. And I know that sounds so silly, but if we're somebody who is giving constantly, it's so important for our creativity, our heart, our spirit to be rejuvenated again. So whether it's watching a movie, going hiking, or whatever, just to get refilled back up and allow your heart to be touched and moved. Allow yourself, if you're a comedian, to laugh at other people. If you're a filmmaker, to watch inspiring films. And I know this sounds so ridiculous because this is why we got into this work, but sometimes it's easy. Oh my gosh, I'm getting convicted here to just stay in work mode of creation without stopping and actually enjoying the art from other people. We want to pour from a full cup. I sound like a pastor now. I hope this is helpful. If you'd like to check out these full conversations with Garrain and a reward, they will be linked down in the show notes. And if you're watching on YouTube, please drop me a comment. Let me know what you're working on, if you're nervous about it, and what you think about my naked analogy. Naked. Just gonna say it again.